I'm gonna start. We're gonna start with Fiskpat. So Fiskpat in the night. Um, where do you sleep, Fiskpat? On the ship? Here in this cabin room? Are you
Well,
doing?
if it's still raining outside, I think if I can find a barrel outside filled with water, I'm going to sleep right inside of it.
Okay. So it's the middle of the night, and it's still raining. We just see a barrel, and Fiskpat is submerged in the barrel, sleeping. Um, and I mean, are you like a fish as you're sleeping in the barrel, or are you just submerged because you have gills, don't you? Didn't you say you have gills?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you're
So
you
I don't have to shapeshift. I can just breathe underwater.
yeah. So you're just submerged in this barrel, um, and the rain. We just see this barrel, and the rain stops. There's like ripples on the water, seeing Fiskpat submerged beneath, um, and the ripples stop as the rain stops. And Fiskpat, you're startled awake by a sound. You hear footsteps um, running across the deck of the ship. Do
Well,
you?
then I slowly come out of the water and very silently I look around.
So slowly, your head peeks up out of this barrel,
Yeah, just with the eyes.
and you're looking out on the deck, and you see two people on the deck. There is a young halfling woman. Um, she has like um, she has a pair of like sturdy looking work pants and like a vest on, like sort of leather vest, and she has a sword strapped to her side. And there is a human man. He looks really young himself, right? Um, I don't know that Fiskpat is familiar enough with people in, you know, uh, city folk, or pirate folk for that matter. Um,
No, he doesn't he doesn't know. He only knows that there's people that lives in the towns and people that lives around the rivers and in the countryside.
yeah.
But nothing else.
So I guess to your eyes, everybody looks sort of young. Like maybe Three Teeth looks rough enough to be. Well, he's not just a young dude. Um, but these two people, they would look young to anybody else. Uh, like the the young man has like a clean shaven face, and um, he has like sort of almost frail features, and he looks like a sailor, like one of these pirates here, and he's like down on his knees, and they're looking into each other's eyes, like holding each other's hands. Um, there's definitely a romantic gaze to their looks, um, and and they are whispering something to each other that you just catch. Um, they they both in unison say "forever" to one another, and they stand up and move to the side of the ship that's next to the water and step up on the railing and like jump over the edge. and you hear a splash. What do you do, Fiskpat?
Did they both jumped, or
Yeah.
only one of them?
They both stepped up on the railing together, holding hands, and then jumped over the edge.
Well, because Fiskpat doesn't really understand what is going on, he slowly gets out of the barrel and slowly trying to hear stuff and to grasp the words that they said. He slowly walks toward the deck and looks under to see if they're still there.
You're walking down the deck toward the railing, and you hear more feet running along the deck. Along the dock, right by the ship on the dock. And there is a man running, and he is yelling, and he looks worried, and it's a halfling man, but he has like sort of dress pants on, and they're tattered around his ankles, and he's got like a nice surcoat on, or it was nice, but now it's like sort of burst open and looking tattered, and he's crying out a name. He's crying out, "Ophelia! Ophelia! Where have you gone, Ophelia?" And he sees you on the ship, and he comes running up. He says, Have you seen Ophelia? Have you seen my daughter?"
And is she like an halfling? Is it like me?
Yeah, and he's a halfling too, and he says, Yes, a halfling. Have you seen her?"
Yeah. I think I saw her with a guy, but I'm not sure of what's happened. And they whisper something, and I think they jumped right into the sea.
He says, "My God," and he goes running over to the rail, and he looks down over, and he's just staring, looking. He says, I can't see her. Ophelia!"
Is there still a storm, or it's like...
The sky is clear. You can
Yeah,
still...
but there are waves, or it's just calm?
Yeah, no, it's calm water.
Well, people don't go like this in calm water, so they just vanished.
Yeah, you're looking around, and he says, Wait, there's something in the water. There's something in the water. Do you go look with him?
Yeah. I go look with him and trying to see if it's then underwater, or
he's looking down, and he sees the both of you see something like a shape coming up toward the surface of the water. And as it gets nearer and nearer, you can see that it's a baby, like a newborn, and you can see it just below the water. It's not drowned or anything. It's moving just beneath the surface, like it's even swimming, and it doesn't look like frightened or like it's drowning. It's just floating slowly up toward the surface, and when it comes to the surface, it sort of like floats up to the top, and it lets out this sort of cry, a baby's cry, and and in terror, like in horror, he leaps. He like draws himself back and stumbles onto the deck. And he says, "What does this mean? What is this?"
I I try to grab the child, and do I see anything strange on the baby?
Well, to grab the child, you'd have to like jump into the water, like over the edge.
Yeah, I wish to do that.
Okay. You go diving over, and you splash into the water, and yeah, there's like this baby floating there, and you can grab it, and you can just hear the guy up from the ship. You can't see him anymore, and he says, "The demons! There are demons!" And you hear his feet like beating planks as he's running away, and you're holding this baby in your arms. And it's crying and crying. When you see another figure out on the water. Standing on the waves. A woman. Tall and wearing sort of a gown. You've seen her before in a vision. And this is when you realize that you're having another vision. Right? You've seen this woman before riding on the waves. And now she is standing out there on the calm sea, but she looks angry. She looks furious. And she points up like a judging finger toward the town. What do you do?
Is the baby part of the vision, or is he real?
I mean, that's the trick with visions, right? I don't think you're able to always discern real from false. And you know, the other part is they're visions. Of course they are true. Everything about a vision is true, at least in some sense, right?
Well, then I shout to the figure, to the women figure, and I say, Are you Lutria? What does this mean?" And they keep looking at the child and see if we got something strange on his skin, and I slowly try to. I look around to see if I can get on top of the ship or on the dock.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's like a rigging or something, right? Like a net on the side so that you can climb up. And you call out asking if this is your goddess. And she says, she's from the distance, right? Her voice carries like an echo. She says, "No. You are innocent of the sins of these people." She says, "Fiskpack, you should flee back to your home. There is only judgment waiting." And there's like a big wind that blows behind her, sending her robes like flailing, and a wave gathers in the ocean like a mountain that is moving toward the city. And before it crashes and hits and you see everything buried under a hammer blow, you're looking at this baby to see what if there's something strange about it. Okay, yeah, discern realities about this baby. Roll plus wisdom. Cool. So you can ask 3 questions about this baby from the Discern Realities list.
Okay.
There's the whole move list for you.
Okay, it's discern reality. I can't find it.
If you look in Roll20, there's the whole
Yeah,
moves list.
I'm looking at the moves list, but
Okay.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, I found it. So, First of all, what here is not what it appears to be
Okay.
about the child.
The child.
If
Yeah. This child, in a vision like this, you get the sense that this child is. It's related to that man you saw somehow, but the child you're holding in your hand, part of the vision is that this child you're holding is real, but it's not alive, or it's not in a body. It is. This is not the child's body you are holding. Its spirit has been left to wander the space between waking and dreams. It's alive, but you can only see and hold him now because you are in that vision space. Yeah.
and is Fiskpat the baby?
Well, we gotta ask a question from Discern Realities.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. And
I will tell you that you are not this baby, though. No.
yeah, because I was going to look for gills, to see.
Right.
Wait, this is me.
Yeah, no.
And what is about to happen? Oh wait a second. What is about to happen? I saw that. And let me change the question.
Okay.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Yeah. For some reason or another, you know this child's name. It just appears there. Or what would be even creepier is if this baby looked at you and in a voice that you could understand says his name. His name is Cooper.
And okay, Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, I first of all, I want to get out of the water to to
Yeah. You've got one more question. The vision is going to come. The vision is going to come to an end after your third question.
What should I be on the lookout for?
What should I be on the lookout for? Cooper. in this state is trapped or cursed or something. There is a mark of evil that is stolen the living soul of this child. Yeah, this is all a part of the fell magics going on in Longshore. The precarious fate of this child. You see that when his eyes start to sort of flash in a bloodshot way. They start to go bloodshot, but he gives out a cry, a mighty wail, and he clenches his eyes in his little fists. And when his eyes open again, they're not bloodshot. Cooper's soul is strong and is fighting off the curse that has his soul trapped, but it won't last long. He can't keep it up forever. And that's when the tidal wave hits, and everything is buried underwater, like a hammer of God. It smashes the whole town, that drags it under the sea, and you awaken to the sound of thunder. And your head pops out of the barrel again, right? And there is storm and water and rain from the sky, as it was when you went to sleep. It is as if you were dreaming, but these things were not untrue, right? These were visions granted you. And all things in them were true in some sense. Yeah. That's how your night went, Fiskpat.
Okay, this was a crazy dream. Well,
so yeah, we come back to the crew. It is the next day. There are still storm clouds. It is still raining. The streets are becoming flooded. There is basically a shallow river that runs through the main street and is spilling out into the ocean constantly. People are outside again. They're wandering around the docks, though they aren't. It's not very busy. People are hiding mostly, trying to stay out of the weather, but trying to deal with like the docks in their damaged state. The smoke has stopped rising from the inn, but it is still dreary and damp outside. Where do we find you all? Are you all gathered on the dock or on the ship, or are we already headed toward Redwood Longshore's estate? Like, what's going on?
Probably somewhere planning how we're gonna convince this guy. Maybe at the other inn that didn't get burned down.
Oh yeah, there's a dockside like tavern and inn. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, there are a few people in there, right? And people complaining about the weather and strange signs, and you're hearing people talk about, the attack. Though nobody's saying anything too specific about it, right? They're afraid, and that sort of is coming through. And you all are, I guess, gathered around a table. Your clothes have been like washed and dried as best they could, right? You've already walked through the storm to get to this place, so they're at least damp from that again. But sure, what's the planning session like? How do you all discuss what's going to be happening?
What do we know about about Long what is his name?
Longshore?
Right.
Oh yeah, Longshore guy. He's the mayor. He's a little bit crazy. Three Teeth suggested maybe just going ahead and threatening him with his life or the life of something else. Just going full PC on him. But maybe there's another way. Sounds like the first thing we need to do is reconnaissance on that guy to get some leverage somehow.
Okay. The ranger wants to do reconnaissance, which is not a surprise to anybody. What about you, Verindus? I mean, we don't have to do this conversation real time, right? Like, what's the gist of Verindus' thinking about this?
Well, I think it might be a good idea before we go to the mayor to ask around a little bit about him. And maybe just get a little bit of a feel for him first.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Seek-Wolf? What's the gist of Seek-Wolf's thinking?
Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and head there, head to the mayor now, get what he, because we have a bunch of information, right? We can if we can probably see what he's up to, and tell him we need his help to fucking stop all this and all that shit.
Okay. And Fist Pat, what's your general thinking about the situation, how to approach it?
Well, maybe Fistpat is a bit naive about this kind of stuff, so he just thinks that if he knows something or if we are in the truth, we're going to succeed anyway. So he isn't the smartest guy at all for this kind of stuff. So he's going to rely on you guys.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the direct approach is the general thinking. So unless Chris is still taking the lead on this and insists on scouting the place out first, does anybody else take the lead, or Chris, do you take up the lead and follow through on what they say, or what?
If people, the reconnaissance would just need time, right? There's a small risk of, or maybe it isn't that small, depending on what I see when I get there.
Sure. Of
getting caught, but if with enough time, reconnaissance could be done, and then eventually, we can come in and hit the thing directly. Just go in there and tell him, "Hey, man, we know all this stuff."
Okay.
And
Yeah, let's just go to the place, right? So you all get yourselves screwed up for the thing. We hit her straight out. And like I said, you could see people in the streets. I don't think anybody really takes notice of you all because nobody really saw any of you. Fistpat was sort of known as a weirdo in town, but they don't think he's a weather summoning dark god or anything. But people are moving around. They do look worried and stuff, and maybe you get a few eyes for marching up the street 4 abreast. But you come to Longshore's estate, and it's a fairly large house. It's definitely not like a hobbit hole, right? and you come up to the door. A guardsman confronts you, right? And he holds up his hand. He says, "What is the business? What is your business here?"
Is this a reconnaissance part, or are we just going straight in?
Well, if you wanted to reconnaissance ahead, like if you want to run ahead of everybody, right? So you did want to do that?
Yeah, if you guys are giving me enough time, I would try to scout the place out, maybe see from a window, see who he talks to. If there is if he has a son, for example, if he has children or a wife or a husband or whatever the hell. See if we can, find out as much as we can about him before going in.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I think
sure.
that's a good idea.
So you're checking the place out, Chris.
Yeah.
You're creeping up from. Are you like sneaking right up to the house and like peeking in through windows?
Because I think she would want to do that before like dressing up and pretending to be somebody else. I don't think that's her strat.
Yeah. Okay.
Stealth goat.
Yeah. Let's call that. I don't care about the sneaking, right? Nobody's. You're sneaky enough to get past everybody. Let's have you roll a discern realities then.
Wisdom. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I just leveled that one up. 8.
All right. So one question from discern realities.
All right. Oh man, it's three really good ones I have to choose from. I'm gonna send throw them to you guys so you guys can tell me which one you guys think. What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me, or what here is not what it appears to be? Which one of the three do you guys think?
Useful or valuable, I think.
Yeah, useful
okay.
or valuable is probably pretty good. I mean, what
Yeah.
here is not what it
Im-
appears to be might also be really good if there actually is something that appears to be something else.
In
but-
my experience, like the best thing to go with when you only have one is useful or valuable.
All right, I'm going for that one then.
Okay. Yeah, you get close enough and you see Longshore in a parlor room. There's like a big fire, and he's dressed in a coat, right, and a pair of pants, and he looks well dressed, right, but he looks like he's been holed up in this room for a while, and he's just staring out a window. He's got a worried look on his face. He looks really worried. He looks actually kind of terrified.
Is the window facing the sea?
Yeah, he's looking out at the ocean. And he's got like a drink in his hand. You can see it's a clear glass, right? And it's definitely some kind of alcohol he's sipping on. And he's just like rubbing his head, and he looks sort of angry on one note, but also terrified. So he is definitely worried about the situation at hand, and he seems like he's maybe even desperate.
Okay.
So you can definitely get back with the group and relay that. You notice not too much else. I mean, there are guards around and stuff and servants, but this isn't a fortress, right? It's not super heavily guarded. Nothing in the town really is, except for the cloister was. But yeah,
You just have to knock out a dude and you're in.
yeah. So how do you all approach this? There is a guy at the door, right? And he's like, "What's your business?" kind of thing. What do you all say?
We would say out of character though. It seems like this is the just like going into the mayor and being like, we know what's going on, or scaring him is like the good approach. So this is a good one. I think. Do we want to say that we want to talk to the mayor about the necromancy stuff, or that do we want to talk to the mayor, or we lie?
Sorry, what was the question?
Well, we know
Like,
that the last time we were planning on, misleading somebody. Seagwolf eventually came over the top and
Oh yes.
spilled all the beans. So that if you try to lie, right, that could be an obvious problem that could come up again, right?
Yeah. Let's not do that. I think I'll just say straight up, we need to speak. Like I won't lie, but I won't say everything. I'll just say we need to speak to the mayor.
Sure. I mean,
it's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, he would come back. He would say, "Is he expecting you?" Or he's a very busy man, and
No, he doesn't. He isn't expecting us, but this is an emergency. You wouldn't expect an emergency.
he says, "Oh well, what is the nature of your emergency? I'm sure we can get somebody working on it."
It's more of a private matter to the mayor.
Says, right, fellas. If you give me a message, I can have it passed on. Do you gentlemen and ladies have names? Perhaps a name could be passed along. We could see if he's expecting you.
What could we tell him that would let the mayor know that we mean business? That this guy could tell the mayor without kicking us out. Black Lotus? I don't know.
That's
So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things. Especially if we're looking to be truthful, right? I can tell you at least the facts you know. You just had a meeting with the pirate man who lives in his dock side, who he's escalating to war with. So there's that, right? You saw his brother-in-law turn into a monster and ostensibly run the hell out of there to God knows where, right? You know what happened.
When was that?
That was yesterday. Shanzi is his brother-in-law.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Shanzi.
Yeah, we could tell him. Tell him. I said. Tell him we bring bad news of Shanzi.
Yeah, he looks at you sort of serious. He says, Bad news has preceded you about Shanzi. What sort of thing do you know?
That's for the mayor.
He says, you know where he is.
I know where the mayor is.
Okay, yeah. He runs inside. He shouts out something to somebody inside. And there's a bit of a shuffle around inside. And somebody comes back to the door and says, bring them in. They welcome you all inside. And take you through a hallway to his parlor. And he's still standing at the window, sort of looking out, with his back to you all. And the guard says, so these are the people who know something. They spoke about Shanzi. So he turns and he looks at you, and he's a halfling. First thing that happens, Fisk Pat, You have seen this man before, but when you saw him, he was disheveled and running on a ship, looking for his daughter Ophelia. He doesn't have... His coat isn't torn, his pants aren't ripped, he's not mussed, and he's not screaming, but this is the man you just saw in your vision. The halfling man.
Okay.
And he says, please, tell me what you know. What have you seen? Or do you bring a ransom to me?
Yeah, I like shake my head and I say, yeah, I say no, and yeah, I'm gonna like, yeah, I'm just gonna like bring, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and bring like, all the news about everything that's happened to him, right?
So you lay it all down. We met with pirates. We killed bandits. We were attacked by strange beings. Everything.
We tried. I think
No.
not everything. If as all this stuff is being sort of said, or whatever is being said, I think Chris, make sure we come at the angle of like, we are here to help. We might be your only hope type thing. Try to make sure that he gets that.
Yeah. He like walks over to a chair and sort of collapses in it and puts his face in his hands, and he says, what is happening? Are you all still just standing by the door there? He's got like this parlor room, there's a big fire roaring away, and he slumps in a chair that's sort of in a circle of other chairs, and there's a little table there with all kinds of bottles that are like all like half full now, and the corks are all off of them and things. And yeah, he's just sort of collapsed in a chair, kind of having a small breakdown. What are you all doing? How do you situate
I'm not staying in the door. I'm
yourselves?
probably like stood over like nearby him, right? I'm probably too like antsy to like take a seat, but yeah.
I close the door behind us.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that. We should probably close the door.
Okay.
Well, I stand in front of him and I stare at him.
Okay. Yeah. So his head is in his hands for a moment. He says, "What's happening?" And when he opens his eyes, he gets a face full of fist pat, and he says, "Oh, you're that strange one who was here, Shanzi. You tried to join them." Tell me, strange.
I was looking for answers, and I think I found them. We found out that Shanzi is involved in a curse that is spreading across town. And it seems like this isn't the only strange thing that happened here around. Am I right? And I stare right in his eyes.
Yeah, he says, I was not superstitious about these things, and against my better judgment, I think I'm starting to believe the stories.
What stories?
Sightings. The people going missing and returning. And he sort of breaks down for a second. He says, "My God."
Oh yeah, all of it's true.
And I tell him, yeah, some people disappeared and came back. But others didn't, right? The sea got him.
He says, the sea? What do you mean?
You didn't lose. You didn't lose only your brother, right?
Yeah, and he starts to sit up straight. What are you talking about? What do you know about... What do you know about Ophelia? Is she with them? She was taken by them? He says, it must be true. It must be true.
What can you tell me about Ophelia?
He says she's been gone for a few days. We don't know where she's gone. Yeah, he says, and now Shanzi and... What are you talking about others? What do you... If you can find her and return her, you have to help me, please. Everything is crumbling.
I know that she didn't disappear alone. She disappeared with a boy. And he was not a halfling. He was one of those tall guys that live in the cities.
Yeah. Yeah, damn. He like gets up and he walks over toward the fireplace, right? And he's got his glass in his hand and he like screams. He screams out, "I knew it!" And he throws his glass at the fire. There's like a shattering sound. And he says, "I knew that three-teeth son of a bitch was involved in it." Yeah, he says, she's been running off with them. We forbade her. And now they've taken her.
But it was not Three Teeth that got her. And you know that.
He says, but it was.
Am I right?
He says, but it was. If it was a curse coming out of that place, Three Teeth took his men there. And then he took my daughter to help him keep his business going. And he sent her down there.
Down there where?
He said, for
In
money.
the ruins?
He says, for money. For money, he took my daughter from me. Whatever's down there is less to blame for her than him. She's not a... And he's like looking at all of you. She's not a soldier. Why would he let her? He threw her to the wolves. And now...
We know very little about the power that lies in the ruins. One of us here almost lost their mind simply by looking at them from a distance, you see. We were just in the hills.
Yeah.
So just simply getting near them now is extremely dangerous. I wouldn't go about throwing blame, but if there is a lesser evil to choose, it's the pirates, because whatever is down there is going to kill. There's going to be a lot more daughters missing, 3 teeth or not. So that's why we're talking to you right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to convince him not to blame so much the 3 teeth guy. So
Right. What about you, Fistpat? Do you follow up with anything also? So where he's going with this, right? He's still saying 3 teeth shouldn't have let my daughter go with them.
Yeah.
He should have turned her away to keep her safe, right? But he did it for greed. He took her also, knowing that she might not return. And yeah, he is leaning in that direction. What are you saying? Or anybody else, right? Chris is trying to keep things calm and keep things focused on dealing, I guess, with the ruins.
yeah, not so much. I'm trying to be like, the ruins have mysterious ways that might have led your daughter's death, not necessarily 3 teeth.
Okay. Does anybody else add anything to that?
Yeah,
I have
Well,
one
not-
more thing to say if nobody says anything.
Well,
not
I
not to
have
this
not
specifically.
What were you saying, Fistpat?
That from my vision, I have nothing that links 3 tips to his daughter. So if I have to say something, it's going to be lies. And Fistpat is not that kind of person.
Okay.
and yeah, what was I say? Yeah, I think I'd add so. Yeah, so. So everything seems to be leading back to the temple. It seems we may have to go back there to find our answers.
You mean the ruins?
Yeah, the ruins, whatever.
So Seagwolf, let's have Chris. Chris, it's not really a parlay. This is a defy danger, right? He doesn't hate you guys, and he believes everything you're saying. This is about like deterring him from that action, or being like, let's figure out that first, right? So Seagwolf is going to aid you. So Seagwolf, go ahead and roll to aid Chris.
Does he do it with the number of bonds he has with me, or
Yeah.
including mine?
Not including yours, just the ones he's written with you.
8. You get +1.
Whoa.
And what do I roll?
Charisma. It's defy danger charisma. Yeah.
7.
So he'll agree to it for now. He says, fine, but there isn't time. Things are crumbling. People are talking of abandoning, just leaving, and now my brother. He says, I can give you some time, a few days maybe at most. But I can't be telling people about visions that a stranger saw that tells us the truth. I can't tell them that 2 elves from an ocean away have given me their solemn vow that they'll help us. If you can bring proof, or bring some of the people that have gone missing or something back from that place to show us that we're safe again. If you can find my daughter and return with her, or my brother, I can give you at least a chance.
Now, maybe Chris understands, but I'm not like, what happens after the 3 days? He kicks us out of the town?
No, he's basically saying, like, out of political necessity, right? He's got to blame somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And
So we would get the short end. Or the pirates.
Yeah, the pirates. He would have to move on them eventually, or do something to show the people he has a plan, because as it stands now, he doesn't. And you four seem like the only ones who are, you know, at least crazy enough to go into the ruins and figure out what's going on down there. But he says, he can give you, you know, a couple of days before things get so bad he has to do something to keep people calm or keep everyone on board, kind of thing. That's what he's offering you.
Yeah. I think Chris is like, oh, okay, excellent. Well, during these days, though, we will need full cooperation from everybody. That includes you and the pirates together. We need information so we know what we're doing. Or else we'll just go there and come back and I'll shoot you with my bow. Because I'll be possessed by whatever the hell's down there, sir.
Sure.
No offense.
He says, okay, we don't have much time, but... he sits down in the chair and, like, pours himself another drink. He says, okay, let's see what we can do. I think that's the end of our session. I think that's a good spot to end on.
Yeah, it's a good place to end it. Sits down to tell us everything.
So, yeah, let's just do our end of session. We'll probably do something a little special next time to get us, like, to the thing. But did anybody resolve a bond?
I don't think so.
I think I did, because one of my bonds is to Sigwell has been put on my path for a reason, and I have to stay close and watch over him. And at the start of the session, I had to turn into Dire Beaver to to move him away from those crazy folks.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems good. Does that sound good to you, Seagwolf? He defended you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
So you can resolve that, mark an XP, and if you want to write a new one to replace it, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to think about it.
That's cool. Anybody else resolve a bond?
I feel like I resolved a bond that I erased right before the episode started. It was the one with Seawolf where, like, it was one of the first bonds. I would make sure that Seawolf does not parlay with, you know, he isn't like the parlay person in our group because he's too, like, he just spills the beans. But spilling the beans helped out because he rolled really well. So I think she would believe that that isn't true. But I removed it. I don't know if it still counts or...
Well, you've got the one that says you don't trust him with your lives. Like, has that changed? Like, maybe Seawolf has some use yet or something.
Yeah, maybe I'm growing more trustful of him, seeing his abilities.
I think that works. What do you think, Seawolf? That sound right to you?
Yeah.
You're more trustworthy?
Mine is Chris is too quick to leap the violence. I'll show them the benefits of negotiation. We definitely negotiated a lot today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chris is starting to get the hang of it, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, you can score that, mark XP. Of course, Chris, you agree that you're becoming more even keeled and less prone to violence.
Yeah, but my bow was itching for a couple times during these conversations.
Sure.
Cool. I'm not sure that resolves too well. Think of something.
Yeah, you can write that new one if you want. And Verindus, did you resolve?
I did not resolve any of my bonds, but can I change the one that I wrote in the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, if you want to change it some.
So I wrote, Sequel shouldn't be so quick to interfere with what others are doing. I should do something to spite him. Maybe I shouldn't do something to spite him, but maybe I should like teach him a lesson or something. When he's trying to do something, then I interfere with it to like teach him maybe.
Sure, yeah. That seems kind of about the same, but just changing up the wording a little. Okay. Okay. Did anybody resolve, or did anybody achieve their alignment?
Help
No.
someone despite my appetites.
Well, did we discover something about a magical mystery?
I think you discovered tons of stuff about a magical mystery.
Okay.
What did we discover so far in this episode?
Well, there was the thing at the ritual, right? That Shanzi's group was taken over by, right, the same strange power that was hurting, or that was trying to fuck with Verindus also, right?
Yeah, it's like almost like you passed it on to him when he was trying to remove it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Nice.
Cool.
And he was also like mind controlling all those other dudes, so I guess it automatically got sent to them.
Also, there's like this baby theme, this necromancer baby theme going on.
Yeah, lots of stuff about a baby. Fistpat, you are so close to getting that unnatural menace removed. It's gonna happen.
Well, someday an halfling can dream, you know. Okay, I think I got my bond. And it's we can't face the ruins of another god without the magic of Lotria. I have to ask for her blessings.
Cool.
Nice.
Sick.
I would definitely feel more comfortable fighting this necromancer if I have like a catfish lady fighting with us.
Yeah.
And if we did go into the dungeon, I would kind of be fine even if we didn't have anything, because I have a move that lets me immediately break free of any physical or mental restraint.
There you go.
But I have to take ability.
Okay, did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah. Everybody marks one. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
We ran away from stuff.
Yeah, we escaped.
Okay, yeah, nothing overcome yet, but did we loot 250 coins or a valuable or priceless artifact?
We got 200, not
200.
250.
Yeah, not quite. Okay, well that's all the XP. So we would be, I think, missing Fistpat next week. I don't know. We can talk about that later, but I would be one to. I don't know. I don't want to leave Fistpat behind. He's seen too much important shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable not having a druid.
And when we walk back on the way there, he gets swallowed by a rampant land wave.
Okay, yeah. So let's take an off week next week, then, so that we don't miss Fistpat, because I keep dropping hints about babies, and yeah, there's baby mysteries to be solved.
Fistback was pregnant all along.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the gift of the river, you know. This is what you get for sleeping in barrels and in fountains.
So yeah, that's it. That's the end of us here. But we'll come back in 2 weeks and dig back into things. Sound good?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for playing, guys. We'll see you guys then.
Thanks for DMing.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Well, see ya.
Bye.
Bye guys.